We just went to Safeway. Here's our haul. We got so much cereal. A lot of tea. This one tastes like Fireball. It's really good. Not that we know what Fireball tastes like, but yeah. And then this like jams, tangerine spread. Yes. The haul.
Hi!
Hello!
I'm Sydney.
And I'm Megan.
And today we're going to teach you how to make bread in 2 hours.
Crazy.
Because it's 8 o'clock at night and we want garlic bread.
Heck yeah!
So I'm going to make us a loaf and then...
What lesson is it? Lesson 11?
Yeah, I think it's lesson 11. Doughs.
The last one! Let's get into it.
Let's get to it. You ready?
Yep.
Okay. I have here 300 grams of water. Also roughly measures to about 1.25 cups of water. You want your water to be warm, so I usually mix some water from the kettle and some water from the fridge. And into this water we're going to put 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast. And the fun thing is that we want bread fast right now, so we're going to go hard. So we're going to go 2 teaspoons plus an extra 1/4 teaspoon, and I'm going to be like extra generous just because I want this bread to be like fluffy.
Fluffy as heck.
Really fluffy. And yeah, we're also, because the yeast is bacteria, and bacteria likes to eat just like we do. We're also going to add in a tablespoon of sugar to feed them like small children. And we're just going to let this sit here for about 5 minutes for the yeast to do its thing. So basically, they're going to eat the sugar and they're going to fart out bubbles, and that's what makes bread airy. So I'm going to take my big glass bowl right here. This is a kitchen scale. It costs about $12. This thing changes the game. You don't need a fancy one. We have a blue one. We used to have a silver one. And then someone came over, really liked it, and we gifted it to them, and so we replaced it with a blue one to match our kitchen. And I love her. And I use her for making bread all the time, or if I need to measure anything else, because you don't need to wash extra things. AP flour, all-purpose flour. You learned about flour in this week's lab, I think. And we're going to use 360 grams of all-purpose flour. The thing about bread is that it's a lot more forgiving than people think it is. Sourdough's kind of not, but like every other bread with yeast doesn't really care what you do to it. It's really just kind of like vibing out. Okay, now we're going to tare it, which means we're going to set it back to 0. Then we're going to add 10 grams of salt. This is just our normal salt. You've seen her before. I'm just going to go... salt. I usually go a little hard on the salt because I like my bread to be flavorful, but it's been a few minutes. She's kind of gotten a chance to hang out. Now we're going to do the fun part, and we're just going to go ahead and pour this in to our flour and salt mixture, and we're just going to kind of stir it up. And so here's the thing about bread, okay, everybody? It's like super forgiving. You can kind of like do whatever you want to it at this point. So some people like to add in some olive oil, and I don't really actually remember what that does, but like it does something, and I do it sometimes. Some people just leave it like flour and water, which is what we're going to do today, just because we're trying to keep it easy and simple and very few ingredients. But one thing I am going to do, and this is a fun life hack for anybody that just has a sourdough starter. And granted, a lot of you probably don't have a sourdough starter, and this is totally fine without it as well. But if you do have a sourdough starter, this thing is like a flavor bomb. And so a lot of times you use sourdough starter to like leaven your bread. And so usually it's meant to be like the thing that makes your bread rise. In this case, we have yeast, and that's going to do that for us. So all this is going to do right now, and she's a little bit old. I like haven't fed her in like a few days, but she's going to make this bread so much more tasty, and we're using her solely for her flavor uses and not at all for the rise. So I'm just going to like kind of dump in however much I want. That looks like, you know, I'm just going to do that. That seems fine. There's plenty of videos out on the internet that'll show you how to get a sourdough starter started, or if you want, you can just go to like a, what do you call it? A bakery, and usually you can just ask for a sourdough starter and they'll just like give you some of theirs. Add a little bit more flour. Start off with that. Just like keep mixing it in. And this bread is wonderful because it's a no-knead bread, so you don't have to get your hands dirty. It's so easy. And like I said, we're doing this in 2 hours because it's late to be cooking, but like I said, we want garlic bread. I know it says no knead, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a little mix with my hands because your hands are the best thing to mix things sometimes. So I'm just going to like go all the way around the edge, get all the flour. And I wouldn't really call this a knead. This is more like a hand mix. And there we go. Perfect. Now we're just going to let her hang out like that for an hour. This is kind of a, it's a replacement for a cling wrap because we're not progressing.
We don't waste in this house.
So let's have a wet towel, and let's see how many times can I fold it where it'll still cover. There we go. I'm just gonna let her hang out. It's been an hour. Our little Alexa timer went off. And our boy has doubled in size. Ooh. I think. I don't know. I actually didn't remember how big this was. But I'm going to say she's doubled in size. Now we're going to shape her. So I'm going to get out some flour just to make it not stick to my work surface. We don't need too much. Just like a little bit of that one because we want it to still be sticky. We just don't want it to stick to the counter. Gently peel her out of her bowl and look at all of this air we've got into her. That's so awesome. Okay. So now that everything is out of the bowl, we're trying not to agitate it as much as possible because we want it to stay nice and fluffy from all this air that we've gotten into her. So I kind of like to flatten it out. So right now we're going to shape the bread. So I always start by flattening it out, and you want the top to still be sticky. The top is super sticky, the bottom is a little bit floured. Like fold the whole thing in. And then I usually start on this end, and I kind of roll it. Kind of do like that moment. This is really unscientific, but like you just kind of like roll it up like this, and you want to roll it up because it'll help. Like there's some science that's like basically says that you should roll it, so that's why we do it. And it's super, super soft. It's wonderful. Just kind of roll it into a nice log, and it's kind of sticking to the counter because I didn't flour that area very well. So I'll like take it over here to where the flour is. And look at how jiggly it is. Whoa. Ooh. Yeah, how fun. And then I usually like push down the buttholes. Kind of like smush those. And I'm going to try to make this a little bit longer than normal because I don't know how many times I've said this.
Garlic
we're
bread
trying to make garlic bread. So, yeah, we're going to try to like pull her inwards and outwards. Does that look like garlic bread shape?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Then I think we'll leave it unfloured. I'm just gonna like take her out from the bottom and like put her on a pan. Oh, I totally should flour her. Alright, I'm gonna flour it. You just gotta sense her out and see what's going on. So if she feels like she needs flour, you can flour her. If she feels fine, she feels fine. I'm just gonna like leave her in the middle and kind of I think it's going to be her. We're just going to cover her and let her sit for another half an hour while we preheat the oven to 460 Fahrenheit.
Yay!
Okay, that's been about a half an hour. And here's our bread. She's risen again. So now, and so we're going to go ahead and put this bread in, and we're also going to put in, this is just a metal pan with some water in it. you have one of two options. You can either put it in a Dutch oven, which is what I usually do when I'm doing circular loaves. But also, like, if you don't have a Dutch oven, this is a perfectly fine way to do it. Basically, what you want to do is you want to trap moisture in so that it cooks. I don't actually know what the science is, but you want it to have a lot of moisture in it. And in fact, in bakeries and stuff, they have like steam things that'll like inject steam into the ovens. We don't have that, so we're just going to do that with some water in a pan. So we're going to go ahead and put this in for half an hour. I'm going to jiggle it. That's so fun. I'll go ahead and put this in. And we're going to go ahead and put the water right underneath it. Alexa, set a timer for 30 minutes. And then in 30 minutes, we'll take the water out and we'll leave it, the bread in there for another 15. And then it should be ready to go.
Yay! We also made brownies.
We did.
Look how pretty. Sydney did a little marbling.
Hell yeah!
Beautiful.
What's up, Megan?
Sydney made butter, parsley, garlic, basil, a little bit of salt. Is that it?
It's like literally pretty much almost a stick of butter and like some chopped up herbs and garlic.
Look at that.
And this is the mixture we're gonna put on our garlic bread when it's ready to be garlic bread. And here she is in process. She's like looking pretty good. Oh, you can't really see her?
Ah!
Okay.
Alexa, how much time is left?
It's her.
And then we're gonna put that on there.
We're gonna put that on it.
And we're gonna eat it.
toast it. Oh,
So good.
so good.
I'm ready.
Me too.
Yep.
Here's our child. It's our baby. We've got a nice dark crust on her. It should be good.
Enjoy Megan's bread glamorous shot. Look at that ear. Woo!
You see how hollow it sounds? That's a sign of a good loaf. I hope she looks good on the inside. In fact, you should probably wait like 30 minutes. But I'm impatient and I want garlic bread.
Yeah.
It's like 11 o'clock. So, yeah. All right, Ayo, we ready to see it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. There she is. Look at how soft and fluffy. Oh my gosh, she's so steamy. We have a fun, even-ish crumb. And look at how easy it was. We didn't have to like let it sit overnight. It's only 11 o'clock. We only started at 8:30.
We can still
We're
eat
about
our
to make
garlic
garlic bread. So we're gonna do
Ooh,
that actually.
she's
So
beautiful.
we're just gonna go ahead and do this moment.
Look at that. So fluffy.
And that's, I guess, the end of this video. But if you want, you can stick around to watch us make garlic bread.
Ugh. Spread it on there.
You want to be like generous. We've
Yeah, we're
already
not
committed.
skimping.
We've already committed. We're not like, you know, you're already eating garlic bread. Might as well make it good.
We already decided that we weren't
We
going
already
to be
decided
healthy.
that we're not being healthy tonight. So.
Yeah. We had brownies.
We already ate brownies.
And now we're having
and now we're
garlic
making
bread.
garlic bread. So that's where we're
But I'm happy, so
I know.
that's all that really matters. Now put in cheese.
We're putting some cheese on some of
Mozzarella?
them. Not all of them because we want to try, you know, different varieties.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mozzarella and Parmesan.
We're gonna a little Moz on her. And then we're gonna parm over it. Because
Parm!
we know how to have a good time in this.
We do. We do. Put in a little parm. The good stuff only.
Here's another Megan glamorous shot. This time with a flashlight. And it's nice.
Yay!
Ooh. If you guys could smell this kitchen right now.
So good.
Yeah.
We never finished the garlic bread video.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Bye.
What was your review?
Oh, it was really good.
It was really good.
I like the one with the cheese on it better.
Me too. Would you do it again?
Yes.
Yes. 10 out of 10. Cool. Pound it.
Turkey.
Cool. All right. That's the video. Goodbye.